Speaking of buying players, we just talked about Jackson Churio. And for more on players to buy, including Churio, let's talk a little trades with me and the Welsh. It's week 12. So, Welsh, it's time to look at the buy lows and the sell highs and some other players we have that might be available. We're putting together our weekly buy low, sell high on FantasyPros.com. You can check that out right now. The article should be out any minute now. So, Welsh, what do you have for the folks this week in terms of players that you're looking to get rid of or to acquire?
We've got a couple players that are on my trade buy list. If you guys have been following all season long, hey, Gunnar Henderson was the feature of this at the beginning of the year. So I like to get some wins and hopefully to get you guys some wins in this trade market. Some of you are going to roll your eyes, though, at where I'm going to go with this because I have talked about this guy before, but I got some reasonings. On the buy, Oneil Cruz. We are back into buying Oneil Cruz. You want to know why, too? Because Oneil is on that downtick. He has been kind of in that, like, no one's really interested. Everyone kind of feels that Oneil Cruz is just kind of capped, but there's been some optimism. So since May 1st, he's hitting 255. That's huge. Getting over the 250 marker is absolutely big for Oneil Cruz. He's also, even bigger, cut his K percentage to under 30%. Since May, he's had 6 homers and 2 stolen bases. And here's a big one. We did a big old look at bat speed and trying to find the correlations of it on the most recent in this league. He increased his bat speed by a pretty wide margin. He was already like the second highest in bat speed in baseball behind Giancarlo Stanton. In April, he had a 77.5 average bat speed, miles per hour on his actual swing. In April, he hit 223 with 3 homers and a 36% K percentage. So that was with that 77.5. Starting in May, he increased that bat speed up to 78.3, second best in baseball. So an almost full mile an hour increase on his bat speed. That equated to 6 homers and a lowered K rate. So I think he's trending in a really great direction right now. And I know you're not the biggest Oneil Cruz guy on the planet, but you get batting average up, you get Ks going down, homers happening, and stealing bases. I think there's no big excitement around Oneil Cruz, which makes him such a great buy right now, Joe.
Look, I think Cruz is talented. I think what's happening this year is the repercussions of not playing last year. I think that at the end of the day, that's what is really hurting him. Now, maybe in the second half, after he's had a few hundred at-bats, maybe he's going to start to pull himself out of it. You're giving out some good numbers there on him. Now, last week, I said I liked what I saw at Jackson Churio, starting to look like he was figuring things out a little bit. Went yard yesterday. Again, a young player. Maybe we are not always giving enough patience to some of these young players, but you're looking at Churio the way I am, I believe, as well, yes?
Yeah, he's number 2 on this list as a buy. He's hitting 300 in June right now. He had a 32% K percentage in April, very Oneil Cruz-esque early on. But since then, he's cut it 19% in May, and it was actually 19.1, and then 19% so far in June. Another one of these who increased his bat speed as well. April, he had a solid, I think, Enos Harris had kind of marked like 73 miles per hour average on your bat speed is like, that's good. That's like where you want it. That's what he had in April. But since May, he increased it to 74 miles per hour. So he added a full mile per hour to that bat speed. That also can correlate to feeling more comfortable. And that might be something that shows these guys are seeing the ball better. We don't really know what the correlation is. Is it either, he's just increased the bat speed and it's created those results, or he's seeing those things, which has created the bat speed? We don't know, chicken or the egg situation, but we do know is there's an increase. With that, the results, he lowered his strikeout percentage and he had a 50-point bump on his average since May. It still wasn't great, but a 50-point bump. He's currently sitting on 7 homers, 7 stolen bases, and though you said like, oh, I don't know what the numbers will be, it's a legit shot to be a 2020 guy. So I think Jackson Churio, it's a really solid time because, again, kind of like Oneil Cruz, I'm not talking about players that just stink. I'll go buy this stinky old sock and it's going to turn into a golden shoe. No, it's like these are like fine players that people don't have probably crazy attachments to in redraft that I'm buying because they're making really big changes. This last one's going to weird you out, though, Joe.
Okay. Well, I like the first 2, Welsh, because what I like the first 2 is you're betting on talent and you're betting on youth to figure things out. And I think that is always a good investment, especially now that we're not talking draft season. We're talking about we're at the, 2/3 of the way, a third of the way through the season right now. So if you're going to buy on players, buy on the young kids who still have upside, still have development to do at the major league level and could go further, as opposed to buying guys that might be towards the end or guys who are starting to fall off a little bit. I think that, we're not buying the Nolan Arenados of the world right now. We're buying the Jackson Churios of the world.
No, we're not buying the Nolan Arenados.
So who's going to creep me out? Who's the guy that you want to buy and bring over and I'm not going to like this? Who is it?
Pitcher, Ryan Weathers.
Interesting.
I should have gone Marlins pitcher, and then you would have been like, Jesus Lizette. No, Ryan Weathers. Okay, so follow me here. There's a two-parter. Just first off, since May, he's been insane. 2.83 ERA since May 1st. Had an even better Sierra at 2.76. In that same period of time, he's got the 8th best K- walk percentage in baseball. It's a solid K percentage, but part of the reason he's got a 3% walk rate, which is absurd for him. So he's not walking, he's striking out. He actually has a pretty solid where it rates the pitches as far as his fastball run value. He's got a solid run value on his actual fastball. The sweeper has been a solid pitch. Not walking is crazy. But here is my thesis around it, not just those numbers. The Marlins are horrible, and they want to trade everybody. Give me Ryan Weathers. The same argument that we've had with Jesus Luzardo. Give me Ryan Weathers on a Phillies team. Go back to the Padres, on a Padres team. Anywhere. Give me this pitcher, sub-3 ERA, not walking, good K percentage, has been since May 1st, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Give me him on another team. This almost might be a guy that you can go waiver wire right now pending. But if not, get him thrown into a trade. That's something I'm doing in the trade market as far as one of those pitchers go. 3 guys for you guys to probably buy relatively cheap on, at least what I think the rest of their return is going to be this year.
And if you have some trades that you are possibly vetting right now, drop them in the comments below, and Welsh and I on the YouTube channel will do our best to get to them this week and tell you our 2 cents on those trades. So again, subscribe to FantasyPros MLB. Drop your trades below that you're considering or offering or being offered. We'll try to help you out in the days ahead. That is Talking Trades this week with Joey P and the Welsh.